Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the inner sanctum.
Comedy on this Monday episode of the podcast, with episodes of My Friend Irma starring Marie Wilson, Groucho Marx, and You Bet Your Life, Bob Hope with his special guest, that wonderful comedian Peter Lorre, and the CBS Radio Workshop in a more ironic than funny episode from 68 years ago, The Long Way Home. And it's kind of a reflection of the time. And we'll wrap it all up with a funny episode of Lum and Abner. That's all coming up on this Monday. This is the 12th day of May, 132nd day of the year, and we have 233 days left in 2025. The Donner Party of Pioneers departed Independence, Missouri for California on what will become a year-long journey of hardship and cannibalism. And that Donner Pass, to this date, is probably one of the most treacherous stretches of interstate highway in America. Every winter it's closed for at least a portion of the year. And at this point in time, it is treacherous, if you will. 7,000 feet in the mountains of Northern California. 1932, 10 weeks after his abduction, the infant son of Charles Lindbergh found dead in Hopewell, New Jersey, just a few miles from the Lindberghs' home. 1934, a six-piece group of musicians began recording on this date in 1934, known as Fats Waller and His Rhythm. Waller contracted pneumonia, died on a cross-country train trip near Kansas City, Missouri, on December 15th of 1943. On this date in 1937, the coronation of King George VI of Britain at Westminster Abbey following his brother's abdication.
Will you to your power cause law and justice in mercy to be executed in all your judgments?
I will.
Now, King George VI was never expected to be a king growing up. It was always assumed that his elder brother, Edward, the heir apparent, would end up being the king. But then he fell in love. You know the story of King Edward VIII. He abdicated his throne to marry the twice-divorced American socialite Wallis Simpson. It was not proper at the time for him to remain king and do that. As his presumptive heir to Edward VIII, Albert became king, taking the regnal name George the Sixth. He was, it was a rather unusual time, even more so than these days, in the British monarchy. 1949, the Soviet Union lifted its blockade of Berlin. 1958, a former North American Aerospace Defense Command agreement signed between the U.S. and Canada, and that brought NORAD into existence. In 1962, Douglas MacArthur delivered his famous Duty, Honor, Country valedictorian speech at West Point. That's another one of those pieces of audio that I don't know why I don't have it. 1966, Bush Memorial Stadium, home of the St. Louis Cardinals Major League Baseball and football teams, well, football until 1987, opened in St. Louis on this date in 1966. At Queen Elizabeth Hall on this date in 1967, Pink Floyd staged the first ever quadraphonic rock concert. And quad was weird. You know, now it's surround sound. And we get a little different idea, but it's sort of similar. Sort of. 1975, the Cambodian Navy seized the American merchant ship SS Mayaguez in international waters. They even fired on him, claiming it was a spy ship.
The President has met with the National Security Council
He considers this seizure to be an act of piracy. He has instructed the State Department to demand the immediate release of the ship.
Presidential Press Secretary Ron Nessen speaking for President Ford. 2 days later, American forces staged a rescue mission. It succeeded, but at a cost of 15 servicemen killed, 50 wounded, and 3 missing. In 2002, former President Jimmy Carter visited Cuba.
I would like to express my personal thanks for the words of welcome that were extended to me by President Castro.
The former president became the first former president to visit the communist nation. 2003, 59 Democrat lawmakers brought the Texas legislature to a standstill by going into hiding in a dispute over a Republican congressional redistricting plan. In 2008, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement conducted the largest ever raid of a workplace in Postville, Iowa, in the state in 2008, arresting nearly 400 immigrants for identity theft and document fraud. It was on this date in 2011, an Evening with the Monkees, the 45th anniversary tour, kicked off in Liverpool. The tour would move to the U.S. in June and July for 45 stops. The tour would be the last for Davy Jones. He would pass away of a heart attack at the age of 66. The world got a look at the first wild but fuzzy images of the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy 3 years ago today, with astronomers calling it a gentle giant on a near-starvation diet. Karen Marangel of the U.S. National Science Foundation said this took the cooperation and help of a lot of people.
This discovery was made possible by more than 300 researchers from 80 institutions working with 8 different telescopes around the globe.
A lot of work finding that big vat of nothingness on this date 3 years ago today. Passing away on this date in history, John Cadbury, yes, the chocolate guy, from England, if you will. Max Brand, the author. Film director Erich von Stroheim. Robert Reed, the actor, remember him from the Brady Bunch. Also a race car driver, Adam Petty. Singer Perry Como. And we lost a year ago today a great sax man. Did some great stuff. David Sanborn, all passing away on this date in history. Now, birthdays on this date include the irascible George Carlin.
The objects of the game is quite different. The object of the game in football is for the quarterback, otherwise known as the field general, to be on target with his aerial assault, riddling the defense by hitting his receivers with deadly accuracy in spite of the blitz, even if he has to use the shotgun. With short bullet passes and long bombs, he marches his troops into enemy territory, balancing this aerial assault with a sustained ground attack which punches holes in the forward wall of the enemy's defensive line. In baseball, the object is to go home. I'm going home. I'm going home. Ta-da.
We all think about the dirty stuff that George Carlin did, but he did a lot of clean comedy that was great stuff as well. George Carlin, born on this date back in 1937, been gone far too long. Florence Nightingale, the legendary nurse, born on this date, as was statesman Henry Cabot Lodge, actress Katharine Hepburn, also Howard K. Smith, a fine journalist for a number of years. Mary Kay Ash, the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics and all those pink Cadillacs. English comedian Tony Hancock, also baseball legend Yogi Berra, composer Burt Bacharach, and TV personality Tom Snyder, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
When I was going to college, there was a great single, and I want to say it was 1972, 73. I Can Help, Billy Swan, 83. Country singer primarily, although that one was a great skating song because it was lots of organ there. It sounded just like something at the skating rink. Billy Swan, 83 today. From the Spencer Davis Group and Traffic, Steve Winwood, 77. Scarecrow and Mrs. King star Bruce Boxleitner, 75. From the movie The Usual Suspects, Gabriel Byrne is 75.
How many times you been in the lineup? It's always you and 4 dummies. PD are paying homeless guys $10 a head half the time.
From The Usual Suspects, Gabriel Byrne, 75. Singer Billy Squire, 75 today. From Brooks and Dunn, Kix Brooks is 70. You remember him from The Breakfast Club and all of those movies from the 80s with the Brat Pack? Emilio Estevez, 63.
He's like this mindless machine that I can't even relate to anymore. Andrew, you've got to be number one. I won't tolerate any losers in this family. Win! Win! Win!
That is from The Breakfast Club, Emilio Estevez, 63. Stephen Baldwin, 59. Skateboarder Tony Hawk, 57. Tootie from The Facts of Life. Kim Fields is 56 today. Can you believe it? From American Pie, Jason Biggs is 47. Mr. Robot, Rami Malek is 44.
It's better than any album anyone's ever promised you, darling. It's a bloody masterpiece.
From the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, where he played Freddie Mercury, Rami Malek is 44 today. He wrestled primarily in New Japan Pro Wrestling, did a cup of coffee with the WWE's NXT division, and then went back to New Japan. Yuriko Kushida, a great wrestler, 42 years of age, does a Back to the Future gimmick, wearing that same kind of vest that Marty McFly did in the movie. You know this fella best as General Hux in Star Wars 7, 8, and 9. Domhnall Gleeson is 42.
All remaining systems will bow to the First Order and will remember this as the last day of the Republic.
General Hux, Domhnall Gleeson, 42 years of age today. And you've seen her from in Everwood and Captain America, Emily Van Camp, 39 today.
I began to take down the conspirators that betrayed my father.
From the movie Revenge, Emily Van Camp is 39. Those are just a few of the people celebrating the 12th day of May as their birthday. And if this is your birthday...
We baked you a birthday cake. If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
And we'll get underway with this Monday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of My Friend Irma, starring Marie Wilson, 72 years ago, May 12th, 1953. That's up next.
This is Debbie Reynolds. If you've been wondering what you can do to fight communism personally from your own home, there is something you can do. Support Radio Free Europe, the station built and financed by the contributions of the American public to the crusade for freedom. Radio Free Europe is one Cold War operation the communists fear and attack constantly. Support Radio Free Europe. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
Now we go back 72 years on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox to an episode of Marie Wilson's My Friend Irma. And this is from May 12th, 1953. It's time for a picnic.
My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard, transcribed from Hollywood, and starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane.
As you know, the average IQ is about 110. Let me introduce you to my roommate, Irma Peterson, a girl who only came close to 110 when she had a fever of 99.
Oh, what's the use? I give up.
Irma, what are you talking about, and where have you been?
I'm talking about my homework assignment for my night school class. I'd been up on the roof counting people.
Counting people?
Yeah, they want to know what the population of New York City is.
Honey, this might seem like the hard way to you, but if you'll just look it up in the World Almanac over there... Wait, never mind. I'll do it. Here it is. 8,053,000.
Gee, I was off, I guess.
How many did you count?
62 and a half.
A half?
Yeah, look, right over there.
Irma, he's tying his shoelaces.
People do everything to confuse me. Jane, can I have that almanac?
Why?
Oh, well, I have to learn places of interest in New York.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Now, let me see. Places of public interest in New York. The George Washington Bridge. The George Washington Bridge has one of the longest suspenders in the world.
That's suspension, Sonny. And incidentally, did you know that the George Washington Bridge has enough cable to go around the world twice?
Well, if I was going around the world, I'd want to go by boat or plane. I wouldn't want to go by cable.
No, honey, try and follow what I'm telling you, will you? One end of the bridge is anchored in New York, and the other end is anchored in New Jersey. If you tell me it's to keep the river from getting wider, I'll scream.
Well, Jane, you don't have to learn these things.
Okay.
Now, let's see. The Empire State Building is over 1,000 feet tall.
Yeah, that's right. And on top of it, there was a mooring mast for a dirigible.
Oh, well, if I moved in, I'd want to use the elevator.
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Now, let me read what other places of interest there are in New York. Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Wall Street.
What do you know about Wall Street?
Nothing.
You know how it got the name of Wall Street?
Because a lot of the stock can be used for wallpaper?
There have been times when that's a very good answer. You know that? No, Irma, the name Wall Street actually... Come in.
If you don't mind, it's me, Maestro Wonderkin. Hello, girls. Do you mind if I come in and hide?
What's the matter, Maestro?
I'm running for my life. Spring has come to Mrs. O'Reilly.
No fooling.
Yeah, it's no joke. You should see her fluttering those eyelashes at me. They look like two caterpillars caught in the air conditioner. Irma, darling, what are you writing? A letter home?
No, it's my homework. Maestro, why is New York City called the melting pot?
Oh, well, that's because people of all nationalities come to live here.
Oh, that's a cute reason.
No, I mean, we have people living here who are half French and half Swedish, or part German and part Irish.
St. Louis woman, with all those diamond trees, pull that man around by an apron string.
Sounds like Miss O'Reilly.
Yeah. There's another example of the melting pot. You see, she's part foghorn and part elephant.
If it wasn't for powder and a store-bought hair.
One thing I will say. Her hair isn't store-bought. She just dips a mop in ketchup and puts it on.
Yoo-hoo! Anybody at home?
Come right in, Miss O'Reilly.
Hello, girls.
Well, Miss O'Reilly, what a lovely new dress.
Oh, it's the latest thing. Flowered prints, you know. How do you like it?
Well, I didn't know century plants bloom this time of year.
Is that so? Well, I'll have you know this happens to be an original Paris creation.
What do you know? You learn things every day. Frankenstein was a Frenchman.
Maestro, I'm warning
Now,
you.
wait a minute. It's too beautiful a day to spend it here refereeing a boxing match. Why don't we all get out of the house? You know, go on a picnic, huh?
Well, I can't, Jane. If I don't bring in my homework, my teacher will be angry.
You can do your homework while we're having the picnic.
Oh, that's a splendid idea, Janie.
Good.
I have some cold turkey and potato salad in my icebox.
No, nothing doing. No, I wouldn't eat that turkey.
Why not?
Because that bird died a horrible death.
What do you mean?
He ate the potato salad.
You didn't complain about it yesterday when you had it for your lunch.
Well, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. As a matter of fact, the only thing good about that meal was the iced tea I found in your icebox.
I'll thank you not to drink my henna rinse.
Now, listen, the two of you. We'll take care of the menu. I have a smoked ham, some pickles, and some coleslaw, and some wonderful mushrooms with good juicy stems.
Can I bring the sponge cake I made?
You made a sponge cake?
Yes, and I had to bake it for hours. Those sponges never melt.
No, Irma, we can do without it. Miss O'Reilly, you bring the coffee, huh? And Maestro, you bring the blankets?
Yeah, all right. I'll bring the lace curtains.
I said a blanket.
Yeah, the lace curtains have less holes in them.
All right. And Irma, let's see, you bring... What's the matter, honey?
Well, what if you're all so busy at the picnic you won't be able to help me with my homework for night school?
Well, what do you want to know, Irma?
Well, I have to learn about interesting places in New York.
Oh, I know them all.
Well, now, wait a minute. Let me write it down.
Well, my favourite place is Central Park. That's where I met my first husband, Clancy. He was riding one of those buggies, and I was...
And you were pulling it.
Be still. And then, Irma, there's the Holland Tunnel.
I've already written something about the Holland Tunnel. The Holland Tunnel goes from New York to New Jersey under the Hudson River. It was built for people who love the water but can't swim.
Do you mind if I get a glass of water from the kitchen?
Help yourself.
Oh, that must be Al. Hello?
Is that your Irma?
Oh, Professor.
From California?
Yes. Oh, Professor, how are you? Every night I say a prayer for you.
You do?
Yes, I say, please take care of the dear old professor and let him be happy in California, but someday bring him back to America.
Oh, Irma, how I miss you.
Did you get the little gift I sent you last week?
No.
Well, I didn't know what to get you, and I read about a place in Hollywood called the Brown Derby.
Yes?
Well, I mailed them a check and told them to send you a hat.
No, but the Brown Derby is a restaurant.
Oh, Professor, you and your jokes. A friend of yours wants to say hello. Here she is.
Oh, hello, cutie.
I think you have the wrong number.
Now, Professor, tell the truth. Are you homesick?
Yes, every time I think of the home you gave me, I get sick.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing. You should see me. Why, people say I get younger every day.
Well, that I can believe. You do get younger every day, but, oh, the years you put on at night. Tell me, have you lost weight?
Oh, indeed. Why, now I have a figure just like a girl.
You mean the girl we saw at the circus who lifted the elephant?
Oh, you're such a kidder. Really, I'm much slimmer.
Well, tell me, what size dress do you wear now? A 12? 14? 16? 18? 20? People now move to the 10th department. Hey, Mr. Riley.
Yes, my dear.
While I got you on the phone, will you please stop bothering my cousin, Maestro Wonderkin?
Bothering him? Why, the man's madly in love with me.
He is?
Yes, whenever he comes near me, he likes to stroke me under the chin.
This is only because he is afraid you're going to sing and he wants to be able to grab your throat. Leave him alone, will you?
Oh, you're jealous.
I'm not jealous, and if you stop bothering him, maybe someday I'll invite you to California.
Oh, do you think I'd like it out there?
Yes, and you know, out here, your chances of getting a husband are much better.
They are?
Yes. Someday the smog is so thick a person can't see your face. Goodbye.
Oh, he loves me.
Well, what did my cousin, Professor Kropotkin, have to say?
Oh, the usual thing. He's so crazy about me, can't bear being away from me for so long. But don't let it worry you, Maestro, darling.
Worry?
You're here, and I always say first come, first serve.
This is the worst restaurant I've ever been in.
Come in.
Hello, folks. Hiya, chicken.
Oh, hello, Al, honey.
What are you doing?
This is my homework.
That's my chicken. Won't be long. I'll have the smartest girl in the block.
Al, I'm supposed to name places of interest in New York. So far, I have George Washington's Bridge, the Empire State Building, the Holland Tunnel.
How about the Battery?
Well, where's that?
Downtown.
Oh, thanks. Now, let's see. I'll say, the Battery is downtown, and the rest of the city uses AC and DC.
No, chicken, no.
Miss O'Reilly, Maestro, will you get the things for the picnic?
Picnic?
Oh, yes, and we're going to have fun. Wait until the maestro and I hide in the tall grass.
In the tall grass, huh? I'm going to bring the biggest lawnmower you ever saw. Boy, I could stand a good picnic. Hey, we could all drive there in my car.
Your car?
Yep. Borrowed it from my pal, Joe.
Does it have license plates?
Yeah, Joe made the license plates himself. Jane, is there a state called Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania? Not unless it's between California and Alapippi.
Well, I guess it's a foreign car. It's the one you drove, Chicken.
Irma drove?
Yeah, didn't you know? I've been giving her driving lessons on the QT.
So that's it.
Oh, Jane, aren't you excited? Just think of you riding and me driving.
Yeah, that should go well with Mrs. O'Reilly's potato salad.
Oh, don't worry, Jane. I'm a very careful driver. When I'm at the wheel, I have one eye on the car in the back of me, the other eye on the car in front of me, and the other eye on the road.
Irma and Al are in the front seat. Mrs. O'Reilly, Maestro Wanderkin, and myself are in the back seat. The three of us have been sitting back here with our eyes closed. Relaxing? No. Waiting. You see, Irma is driving, and we're praying. Hey, wait a minute. Irma's got her eyes closed, too. Irma!
Yes, Jane?
What's the idea of driving with your eyes closed?
Well, in case I go through a red light, I could tell the cop I didn't see it.
Will you please keep your eyes on the road?
All right. Gee, I've been driving such a short time, and I know everything.
You do, huh? What are those two white lines close together down the middle of the highway?
That's for motorcycles.
No, that means you can't cross over.
Yeah, but in some places the line's broken.
You know what that means?
They ran out of paint?
No, Chicken. There you can pass.
Oh, why did I ever get this idea of a picnic?
Oh, Jane, you'll have a nice, relaxing day. You need a rest. Now, hold on tight, everybody. I have to step on the gas and go fast.
Why?
I have to get up on that bridge ahead of me with those other cars.
Bridge? Irma, that's a truck carrying 5 new cars.
I wonder why the bridge kept moving.
Chicken, take it easy. You just went through a stop sign.
Please, Irma, we're a little nervous back here. And Mrs. O'Reilly keeps grabbing me because she's afraid we're going to hit another car.
If I'm going to go, I'm going happy.
Al, will you please take the wheel, or shall I take poison?
Okay. Chicken, slow down. I'll take over.
All right. Oh, this is beautiful country. And I want to make some notes describing it for my homework.
Can anybody tell me where we're going?
Jane, I told you, it's not far from here. I saw this place yesterday when I was taking my driving lesson. It's out in the country all by itself, and it's so peaceful and quiet.
All right, let's go.
Well, can't we put the top up? My hair's blowing in all directions.
Yeah, but I don't think we should go back and pick it up.
Eastgate Proving Grounds, Lieutenant Erickson speaking. Oh, yes, Colonel. I see. 154th Regiment will report for attack as scheduled. I see, sir. Repeat the order, sir. The regiment is to take Ridge 54. Target area is encircled with white flags. 0 hour is 3 o'clock. Right, Colonel.
It's 10 to 3. When do we get to this beautiful spot where I'm going to find peace and quiet?
Oh, it's right over there to the right. You'll know it when we get there. There's a lot of little white flags stuck in the ground. I think it used to be a miniature golf course, but I guess it didn't do any business.
There it is, Chicken. Right in front of us. I'll pull in here.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Well, everybody out. This should be a day we won't forget.
Well, it is certainly peaceful and quiet here. I bet if you took a nap here, you'd never get up.
And look, Maestro, a daisy. I'm going to see if you love me. He loves me, he loves me not, he loves me, he loves me not, he loves me.
Oh, that's too bad. You picked a loaded daisy.
Well, let's get the food out, huh, Chicken? Give me a hand.
You kids do the work, huh? Oh, I just want to lie here and relax.
Go ahead, Janie. Take it easy. Just let Kathleen O'Reilly take care of everything.
You feel peppy, Mrs. O'Reilly, don't you?
Peppy, if I'd any more energy, I'd explode.
I think she did. What was that? What was that?
Maybe it was thunder?
Hey, come on. If that's thunder, I don't like the size of the hailstones. Kids, we're being fired upon. Irma, where did you take us? Fort Sumter? Now, take off your shirt and wave to them.
It's not a shirt, it's just sleeves.
Oh. Come on, will you? Don't stand there. Take cover.
Everybody getting back of Mrs. O'Reilly.
They're coming towards us, the whole American army. Hey, you can't do this. We paid our income tax.
Oh, look at all those men coming toward us.
Stop. Men, stop.
Speak for yourself, Janie.
Hey, what are you people doing here?
Oh, believe it or not, we came for the peace and quiet.
Yeah, fine thing. I bring my friends here and you try to kill us all.
You are not in any danger, miss.
I wasn't?
No, we are using dummy ammunition.
I resent that.
Oh, my, you certainly have a lot of fine-looking young soldiers here.
Please, Mrs. O'Reilly, keep away from them. You are what is known as far and beyond the call of duty.
You say you brought all these people here?
That's right.
May I ask you how you knew about this place?
Oh, I have my ways.
Well, I think you all better come along with us. Army intelligence will want to question you.
Oh, no.
All right, that'll be all, Maestro Wunderkind. You may wait in the other room.
Major.
Yes?
I know that when you questioned Mrs. O'Reilly, you found she was completely innocent.
That's right.
Yeah, well, you've been very kind. And to show my appreciation, I'm going to send you a picture of Mrs. O'Reilly.
What did...
You see, someday you'll thank me, really. In case of another war, all you have to do is mail her picture to the enemy, and I guarantee a full retreat.
Will you please wait in the outer office with the rest? Yeah. Now, send in Miss Jane Stacy.
Yes, sir. Janie.
I'm coming.
Miss Stacy?
Yes.
You're an American citizen?
Yes, sir, I am.
And you arrived at the proving grounds quite by accident?
Yes, sir, that's right.
I understand Miss Peterson is your roommate.
Yes.
She seems a little incoherent. Do you think it could be shell shock?
Well, only if the stork that brought her carried a cap pistol. She's been that way ever since I've known her.
Would you please send her in?
Gladly, sir.
We'll have to be on our toes with this one, Lieutenant. The dangerous ones act the screwiest to take you off guard.
Right, Major?
You sent for me?
Yes. Miss Peterson, where were you born?
Minnesota.
What part?
All of me.
No, what city?
No city, it's a farm.
Remember what I told you, Lieutenant.
I'm on guard.
Now, Miss Peterson, what brought you to the proving grounds?
You want me to tell you the truth?
Of course.
A 1929 Essex.
No, why did you come to that particular place?
Well, you see, I had some homework to do for my night school, and Jane had a smoked ham, and we didn't like Miss O'Reilly's potato salad, so my Al was giving me a driving lesson, and that's why we came here.
You know, I talked to a guy who fell out of his plane without his parachute who made more sense than she does. Miss Peterson, what did you say about homework? May I see it?
Nothing doing. Our teacher doesn't like anybody to copy from us.
Miss Peterson, would you please show us any written literature you may have on your person?
I will not.
We may be forced to search you.
You're not frightening anybody. I happen to work for a lawyer, and I know the law. You can't search anybody unless you have a certificate saying this property has been condemned.
Miss Peterson, may we have the papers?
Well, now that I've made my point, yes. But I tell you, it's just my homework.
Well, you let me judge. Places of interest in New York. George Washington Bridge, Holland Tunnel, the Battery.
She names all the vital strategic areas, doesn't she?
She sure does.
What does she say about them?
The George Washington Bridge built to connect New York with New Jersey so the river can't get wider. Holland Tunnel for people who like water but can't swim. The Battery is downtown. Rest of city uses AC and DC. Doesn't make much sense.
Gosh, Jane, they've had Chicken in that room for 3 hours now, questioning her. I hope she's all right.
It's not her I'm worried about. It's our army that's in danger. I've seen strong men go in that room and come out nervous wrecks. Of all the places to choose for.
But, Your Highness, I've told you a dozen times. That's my homework.
Stop calling me Your Highness.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch, Fräulein?
Gesundheit.
Sir, either this woman is amazingly clever or diabolically stupid.
Well, I've sent for this Mr. Clyde, the man she says is her boss. We'll soon find out.
Oh, what about the code? Any luck in breaking it so far?
No, but it's broken several of our best men. Miss Peterson.
Yes, Major.
If you plead guilty, we can be lenient with you. Otherwise, you know the penalty. Hanging.
You couldn't do that if you wanted to.
Why not?
I'm not allowed to be absent from school any more this month.
If this dame is a spy, we ought to hire her. This is the greatest act I've ever seen.
That'll be enough out of you, Colonel.
I'm a lieutenant.
Well, I didn't know you'd been promoted. Now, look, all of you, the potato salad is going to spoil.
Will you please be still?
Well,
Lieutenant, have copies of this code been sent to Army Intelligence, the Pentagon building?
Yes, sir.
Any results?
Yes, sir. They're all trying to join the Navy.
Mr. Clyde is here.
Oh, send him in.
Will you please come in here, Mr. Clyde?
Yes, of course. Miss Peterson, now what have you done?
I just went on a picnic.
She always has simple answers for great tragedies.
Mr. Clyde, this woman is in your employ.
Yes, but I don't understand.
Would you mind looking at these papers?
Not at all. See, George Washington Bridge, suspenders, Holland Tunnel, battery, AC, and DC. Very good, very good.
What do you mean, very good?
Well, I've been her boss for 6 years now. This is the best work I've seen her do.
An Armed Forces recording of My Friend Irma from 72 years ago, May 12, 1953. A very similar story was done back in 1951 on Amos and Andy, where Andy and the Kingfish ended up finding a nice ground for them to have the lodge picnic. Unfortunately, it also happened to be a proving ground. So, you know, kind of sharing stories, but they went a little further than they did with Amos and Andy. Coming up next on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life, and very soon George Fenneman will have the secret word.
Ladies and gentlemen, make tomorrow your D-Day. Get an extra bond for defense. Step into any bank or post office and buy yourself a profitable share in America's future. As an investment, bonds are better than ever. They can help you save safely, conveniently, and profitably. So whether you already buy on the payroll savings plan where you work or the bond-a-month plan where you bank, get an extra bond for defense tomorrow.
Now that George Fenneman has sold you some savings bonds, let's see if he can tell us what the secret word is in this episode of You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx from 71 years ago, May 12th, 1954.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is house. H-O-U-S-E.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The dealers who have on display the outstanding DeSoto Automatic with fully automatic power flight transmission and the all-new Plymouth, your best buy in the low-priced field. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
I wonder what became of Sally. And Groucho. Oh, that's me. Huh? Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples. Mr. Fenneman, bring on the first couple.
Oh, Groucho, we have some young single people for you. They were chosen by our studio audience just before we went on the air. Miss Ulla Anderson and Mr. Charles O'Brien Osborne. Would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Ulla Anderson and Charles O'Brien Osborne. And you're both single?
That's right.
Yes.
Ulla? Is that how you pronounce it?
Ulla.
Ulla.
Yeah, Ulla.
French have a word for it. Ooh la la.
Yeah, I know.
You're a Svenska?
Yeah, I'm Swedish.
Yeah.
Do you
What?
speak Swedish?
No, but I wish I did. After looking at you, I wish I could speak English. What part of Sweden are you from? Minneapolis?
No, I'm from Örnsköldsvik.
What was that?
Örnsköldsvik.
Could you spell that for the audience?
Well, I can't spell it in English, but I can spell it in Swedish because you don't have those letters.
Well, spell it in Swedish. Huh?
ERNSKELDSVIK.
Now spell it backwards.
I can't.
How long you been from Sweden?
1.5 years.
Oh, I see. How old are you, Ulla?
18.
Well, you're a very pretty Svenska, huh? Certainly the best advertisement for smorgasbord I've seen in a long time. Wouldn't it be great if you could pick her instead of the herring on that smorgasbord? Charles O'Brien Osborne, huh? That's a pretty imposing name. Which one of these three names shall I call you?
I'd rather you call me Chad, sir.
Chad?
That's right, sir.
How old are you, Chad?
I'm 20.
20? Well, we're both in the prime of life. The only difference is they have to prime me to get me started in the morning. What do you think of Ulla?
Oh, I think she's a very nice, pretty young lady. She has a very cute accent.
Yes, she is. You ought to know. You've been looking at it ever since you've been up here. How long have you been in this country, Chad?
2 months now.
2 months, huh? Where do you come from, Europe?
Well, it might be Europe to you, but it's North Carolina to me.
Oh, you come from the United States, huh? Ulla, how long have you been in this country? 1.5 years, you said, huh? What made you decide to come to America? Was it Chad?
Well.
Was it the equivalent of Chad?
Well, it was lots of American pictures I saw, and it was real handsome boys in those pictures.
You saw American pictures, and that prompted you to come to America, huh? And now that you've been here a while, would you say these movies were accurate in depicting American men?
Well, I think they're a little bit too overdone, though.
Don't you like them overdone? What do you want, them rare? What did you really expect over here, Ulla? 60 million Gregory Pecks? Do you realize what that is? 60 million Pecks is 15 million bushels.
Yeah, that's a bit too much, though.
Chad, let's see if you're a gay, romantic, handsome, typical American male. What sort of work do you do?
I work at a service station.
That's good, honest work. Is this your ambition, to someday own your own service station and service DeSotos and Plymouths?
No, Groucho, my ambition is to further my ability to be a stuntman.
A stuntman?
Right.
At a service station? What do? Hang upside down from a gas pump? That's certainly a curious way to give 10 gallons of gas to a car, isn't it? What kind of a stuntman are you?
I'm an aero trapeze artist.
In the circus?
No, that comes under the heading of airplanes. I have my trapeze bar that I hook underneath the airplane and then go up a couple thousand feet and hang by my heels and my knees.
Oh, that's not so exciting. I did that the last time I flew east. It's called tourist, third class. What else did you do? Did you just hang there like a bat until the plane runs out of gas?
No, after you get through your trapeze act, the crowd, they don't think you have a chute on because you're up so high they can't see it. And to put the show over pretty big, your hanging there by your heels, and all of a sudden you just fall off. And
that's a good joke
it
on
kind
them,
of shakes
isn't
the
it?
people up. Yeah, it really shakes the people up, and you fall a couple of 1,000 feet, and then you open your chute. And you're all relieved then.
Yeah. What is your opinion of American men now, Ula? Do you think Chad is dashing, romantic, and gay, or do you think he should be locked up?
No, I think he's very brave, and I don't think many men would do the same thing as he does.
Ula, would you like to go flying with Chad?
No, I don't like to ride in airplanes.
Well, you wouldn't be riding in the plane. You'd be swinging upside down. Well, you're a charming couple, and now you're going to play your bet your life. And, Ula, this is one part of America you'll enjoy, because you have a chance to make a lot of money here. We start you off with $100. If you miss a question, you lose half of your bankroll, and you can quit any time you like. Now, let's see how much money you can make. You selected music, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with?
50.
Don't kiss her. Just talk it over. $50?
50.
All right, let's see if you can identify this well-known Gershwin tune. Play, Jack. Talk it over, and one answer before. No, it's a very well-known song. It's Embraceable You by George and Ira Gershwin.
Well, you lost half your bankroll. You still have $50.
All right, now don't get discouraged. What do you want to try this time?
That's up to you. I'm going to let you decide. I messed up on the first one.
Well, let's try 60.
60? This tune has been a favorite for years. What is it? Play, Maestro.
Sleepy Time Gal.
Sleepy Time Gal is right.
And your bankroll is growing again. You now have $110.
Now, what do you want to try?
So,
you go ahead.
okay, let's try 70.
70, Old Devil Moon and How Are Things in Glockamora are two hit songs from what successful musical comedy? They're two song hits from what successful musical comedy? Played on Broadway for 2 years. You can talk it over, you know. Well, I'm sorry. It's Finian's Rainbow.
Well, you now have $55.
$55, and here's your last chance to beat the other couples. Now, what do you want to try?
Let's go for 80.
80.
Okay.
Al Jolson and Vincent Roos wrote this longtime favorite. What is the name of it? Play, Jack. You stunt man. If you don't know, take a stab. Nothing?
Nothing.
Well, they play it every time you go to Catalina. It's Avalon.
And you wind up with $27.50.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Well, Groucho, we have a high school student from Fairfax High in Los Angeles. He's Henry Aaron. His partner is a special guest. She's Mrs. Laura Asher. But I'll tell you what, let's see how long it takes you to find out her real identity. Folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. Henry Aaron and Mrs. Laura Asher, eh? Mrs. Asher, I gather there's something about you Fenneman thinks I should know. I've got a pretty good idea already, but I'll give our listeners a chance to guess. Weren't you in the movies?
Yes, about 20 years ago.
Well, that's the time I was in it. What are some of the pictures you were in?
Oh, dear, I wonder if I can remember.
Well, name 10.
Well, King of Jazz. I'm talking about old times. That's right. And Finders, Keepers, Cat and the Canary. Oh, dozens of others I don't remember.
Henry, did you ever see Mrs. Asher in pictures?
Well, if she made pictures 20 years ago, I don't think I could have seen her. I'm only 18.
Well, don't you watch television? If you made movies 20 years ago, and my Hollywood arithmetic is correct, you must be pretty close to 34, is that right?
Well, you're getting warm.
Well, that's easy around you, huh? Well, you're just as lovely and charming as you were 20 years ago.
Thank you.
When the whole world knew you as Laura LaPlante. Well, Laura, you were a very big success in the movies. Why did you give up acting? Didn't you like the food in the studio commissary?
Well, no, it wasn't that altogether. I got married, and, well, I've never been one of those people who can run 2 careers at once, and I decided that marriage was the more important.
Well, that's a wonderful attitude. I'm sure many of our actresses in Hollywood feel the same way. I know one actress who gave up acting 8 times just to get married. Your husband's a big producer at Paramount, isn't he?
Well, I think he'd be very insulted to have you call him big. He's just taken off 25 pounds. He looks like a leading man now. But he is a producer at Paramount Studios.
I see. Is he tall, your husband?
About 6 feet.
Mm-hmm. Can he hit hard?
Oh, he's never tried it on me.
No, I was referring to me. What picture is your husband producing now?
Well, his last production was Elephant Walk with Elizabeth Taylor and Dana Andrews. It was a picture that was made in Ceylon. They took a whole troupe of players over to Ceylon, worked there about 2 months. They used lots and lots of elephants in it, and it's the scenery is magnificent. I think scenery that most of us have never seen.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even seen an elephant. And Elizabeth Taylor, does she ride on the top of the elephant? And what do they call that? A howdah? A hoodah?
I think
what do they call that? You're
I don't know.
You're not much of a student, are you? What is your chief interest in school, Henry?
Well, I'm interested in a lot of things at Fairfax High. I guess I'm interested in athletics. I like to watch the sports, and, well...
That's pretty tiring, isn't it?
Well, sometimes it gets me down, but the thing that I'm most interested in, I have been trying to help organize a debating team at our school for a couple of years. And
nobody will talk?
The wrong people won't.
Well, what would you like to be when you finish school, if you ever do?
Well, I'd like to go into politics, as a matter of fact.
You want to be a statesman?
I think that would be a better name for it, probably.
Well, there's quite a difference between a politician and a statesman.
Yes, there is.
Politician gets elected and a statesman gets defeated. I mean, what do you want to be? Congressman, alderman? Or?
I'm very interested in being in the Congress because I feel that there's a real opportunity to do things, and there are certainly things that can be done.
Oh, come now. Why, those boys are perfect.
Well,
You know they're only stuck with 200 million pounds of butter?
Is that all?
That was one of their big schemes a couple of years ago. All I know is what I read in the paper. Gosh, gee whiz. Well, it's been an honor to talk with you, Laura. You don't mind if I call you Laura?
Thank you.
Huh? And you too, Henry. You don't mind if I call you Laura, too. I wish I could continue this conversation, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life.
In the race for the $2,500, the first couple won $27.50, and the secret word is house.
Now, you both know how to play this game, huh?
I would like to say, if I may, Groucho,
Well,
that if we're lucky enough to win something, I'd like to have my share go to the Motion Picture Relief Fund.
Well, that's very nice of you. Unfortunately, this won't influence the quiz any. But, however, it's a commendable objective, Laura, and I'm proud of you. And I wish you weren't married. Now, let's see how much money you can make. Let's see how much money you can make. You selected geography. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is.
We'd like to start with the $100 question.
$100 question?
Yes.
Why, you're as mad as Freddie March's hair. $100. Okay, what is the capital of Puerto Rico? Talk it over.
Oh, I wish I was home.
I don't.
Go ahead.
San Juan.
San Juan is correct.
Well, you're off to a fine start. Your bankroll is now $200.
Now you have $200. Now what do you want to do?
Well,
The 90?
yeah,
Go on down the
okay,
line.
okay.
90.
90. What country is known as the Pearl of the Antilles? Antilles, I guess. How is your Antilles, by the way? Well, it's A-N-T-I-L-L-E-S.
Pearl of the Antilles, we think it's Cuba.
By Jove, it is Cuba.
You now have $290.
Do you want to try the $80?
You can quit, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to proceed.
Oh, no, I have a good partner. We're not going to quit.
We'll try the $80 question.
$80. The Suez Canal connects the Mediterranean Sea with what other sea? Talk it over.
The Mediterranean, I believe, is the Pacific.
I'm depending on you,
The
dear. I
Pacific
can't
Ocean.
think.
Caribbean
Audience?
Sea.
It's the Red Sea.
Oh! I was thinking of the Panama Canal.
Well, you lost half your bankroll. You still have $145.
You have $145, and you can quit or go ahead.
We'll try for the $70 question.
All right, what is the name of the storm-tossed southernmost tip of South America?
Tierra del Fuego.
I hope it was right.
What did you say? Tierra del Fuego.
Well, I've got Cape Horn here, but apparently you know more about it than I do. And also the boys in the back here, who conceive these questions. That's good enough for me.
And you wind up with a bankroll of $215.
Big kiss. Well, thanks and good luck to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you, Doc.
George, do your duty. Tell me who's next.
All right, Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a fireman. His name is Cyril Bennett. And with him is a housewife, Mrs. Jacqueline Reinerson. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Jacqueline Reinerson, eh? And Mr. Cyril Bennett. You're a fireman? How's the pinochle game going? Jacqueline Reinerson, huh? That's you? You're a very attractive Jacqueline. May I call you Jackie Jacqueline?
You may. Everyone does.
Everyone does. Where are you from, Jack?
Oh, I was born in Paris, France.
In Paris, France?
My mother was a war bride in the First World War.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Do you polywoo?
Well, I do, but I'm a little rusty.
Have you tried getting oiled once in a while? How'd you meet your husband? Would you say it was love at first sight?
Well, that just depends on how you define love.
Well, the definition for love is fairly simple. It's an itching that you can't scratch. Did you ever hear the 7-year itch? How would you define love, Jack?
Well, I feel that it's a combination of things. It's physical as well as the mental attraction. But I do think the most important thing is that people feel the same about basic principles, things that involve integrity, honor, and consideration, courtesy.
And that's love, huh?
I think so.
Well, I guess it is. I guess that's why so many people marry for money, huh? I'm just an old cynic, that's all. So let's get down to some facts about your job as a fireman. For example, how many fires do you attend in a day?
I don't go to any fires.
It's not a very hot fireman, I must admit. What's the matter? Don't you like to smash furniture? Why don't you go to fires?
Well, I'm at the fire department alarm board. That's the communications center for the fire department.
Mm-hmm. Well, were you formerly just a regular fireman?
Yes, sir. I was a fireman for many years.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you get a call, how long does it take for a fire truck to respond? Do they get there the same day?
Well, when a fireman receives a alarm, he jumps out of bed, slides the pole and is on the truck within 10 seconds.
And 5 seconds later, he's back upstairs trying to find his trousers. Well, Jackie, let's get back to you. I've discovered after 7 years on this seat here that every housewife has outside interests. What is yours?
Well, for the past 18 months, I've been doing everything I can to help Lakewood become a city.
Lakewood? You mean this local Lakewood out here? That's a pretty big job. How many children do you have so far? How do you explain this away?
Well, about 18 months ago, there was a move to annex Lakewood to Long Beach. And many of us in the community felt that we were 60,000 young people, intelligent. There certainly should be enough leadership in our community so that we could have local self-government. So we decided to do it, and we did.
It sounds like an unusual place, Lakewood.
It is.
What would you say is your biggest asset there?
Well, I would say our children are. Mm-hmm. We have 35,000 children whose average age is under 6.
You have 35,000 children in a total population of 60,000?
That's right.
And you say Long Beach wanted to annex your town?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just keep having children at that rate, and I predict in 4 more years, Lakewood will not only annex Long Beach, it'll engulf the whole of Southern California. Well, it's been very interesting talking to you two, and I wish both of you the best of luck in the future. Now, let's play You Bet Your Life.
In the race for the $2,500, the high school student and Laura LaPlante are leading with $215.
Let's see how much money you can make. You select a general information quiz, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is.
All right.
70. In mathematics, what do you call the figure 3 decimal point 1416? 3 decimal point 1416.
Pi.
That's right. What kind, you know? Well, pi is right.
You now have $170 in your bankroll.
What do you want to try? 60? What do you call a fertile spot in the desert?
An oasis.
That's true. Oasis.
You now have $230.
You can quit or proceed.
5.
We'll go ahead.
50? Mm-hmm. What do you call the track left by a ship passing through the water?
Wake.
That's right.
You now have $280.
You can quit or go ahead.
40.
40.
40. What do you call the complete outfit for a newborn infant? You ought to know that.
Layette.
Layette is absolutely correct.
And you wind up with $320.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
And that means that Mrs. Ryerson and the fireman with $320 in just 1 minute get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question. Friends, the time is now.
Hold on there, Fenneman. What do you mean the time is now?
Well, Groucho, now is the time to visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer if you're interested in buying a good used car at the lowest price and on easy terms. Because this is the time of year your DeSoto Plymouth dealer can really offer you real savings on used cars. The reason is he now has a fine, full selection of all makes and models in a wide price range. Many are one-owner, low-mileage DeSotos and Plymouths that the dealer has serviced regularly from the day they were new.
As long as you've gone that far, George, you might as well tell them about the TV sticker.
All right. Look for the TV sticker on the windshields of your DeSoto Plymouth dealer's used cars. It stands for top value. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer is the only place in town where you can get top value used cars.
There's one other thing I want to point out. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer plans to be in business in your community for a long, long time. He needs your goodwill and confidence. That's why you can be sure of an honest, fair deal. Remember?
The time is now. First thing tomorrow, visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer for the finest used cars at the lowest possible prices on the easiest terms available. And here comes the winning couple, Groucho, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
All right, here we go for $2,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Only one denomination of United States currency has a picture of the White House on the back of it. For $2,500, which bill is it? Talk it over. You have 15 seconds. All right, what's the answer you two have decided upon?
The dollar bill.
No, I'm sorry, it's the $20 bill. So that means the big question next week will be worth $3,000. Well, you lost the big money, but how much they win the quiz?
$320 in the quiz.
That's not too bad. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the outstanding DeSoto Automatic with fully automatic power flight transmission also have on display the remarkable new Plymouth, engineered and built to be your best buy in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth. Two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the DeSoto Automatic.
Friends, adult and child victims of cerebral palsy can become useful, productive citizens in your community. Send your contribution to your nearest cerebral palsy chapter to help pay for the needed treatment and research. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meakin. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world.
Lest you think those awards were chintzy, $3,000 in 1954 would be over $35,000 today. And yeah, they walked out with just $320, but compare that, and that would be over $3,800 today, accounting for inflation along the way. Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life, 71 years ago, May 12th, 1954, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We have Weirdness tomorrow. The Weird Circle from 1945, The Haunted Hotel, The Sealed Book from 1945, Out of the Past. A pair of shows from the last season of Old Time Radio, as Mandel Kramer is yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and The Lust for Gold Matter. Jackson Beck starring in an episode of Suspense from 1962, Hide and Seek. Then on Wednesday, Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce in a Sherlock Holmes episode from 1943. Dana Andrews and I Was a Communist for the FBI from 1952. Calling All Cars from 1935, Murder in the Vineyard, and an episode of Gangbusters and the Tapped Telephone Wire from 1955. On Thursday, we get back to comedy. A couple of days of comedy here toward the end of the week. Our Miss Brooks, starring E. Barden in the Yearbook Photo Mix-Up. Bill Harris and Alice Faye from 1949 as well. The Cadillac in the Swimming Pool. Jack Benny from 1938, The Murder in the Library. And the radio show with Hildegard. Then we will have, coming up on Friday, a Jack Benny episode from 1948 without Jack, Robert Taylor, sitting in for Jack. George Burns, Gracie Allen from 1944, Great Gildersleeve from 1943, and Life with Luigi. On Saturday, we'll have more comedy. Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore from 1946, Father Knows Best from 1951, a My Friend Irma from early in the run, 1948, and The Bird's Eye Open House from 1945. Dinah Shore welcomes her guest, Groucho Marx. So there you go. That's what's coming up here the next few days on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up in just a moment here, Bob Hope with his guest, Peter Lorre.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chief hope of our enemies is to divide the United States along racial and religious lines and thereby conquer us. Let's not spread prejudice. A divided America is a weak America. Through our behavior, we encourage the respect of our children and make them better neighbors to all races and religions. Remind them that being good neighbors has helped make our country great and kept her free. Thank you.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with The Pepsodent Show starring Bob Hope. This goes back 78 years, May 13th, 1947. And yes, of course, Martha Tilton sings, and Peter Lorre does what Peter Lorre does. Spook people.
Tonight, on behalf of the North Hollywood Building Fund for the YM and YWCA, Lieber Brothers Company presents The Pepsodent Show starring Bob Hope and his special guest, Peter Lorre.
Oh, yes. Thank you, relatives. How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob broadcasting from North Hollywood, California for the YMCA's Building Fund Hope, telling you whether you're an office boy or a vice president, to use Pepsodent, you won't have any trouble getting dated because your teeth will be well mated, they'll never be gold-plated, shaded, or like me and get faded. Well, we're broadcasting tonight from North Hollywood. It's called North Hollywood because it's 6 miles east of Hollywood. I'm an old North Hollywood resident. I moved here 8 years ago when I was ordered out of Beverly Hills for pouring acid on Dottie Lamour's safety pin. And I had a big reception when I returned to my neighborhood. I was met by a 30-piece brass band. Well, not exactly 30 pieces, 15. Well, not exactly 15 pieces. It was more like 6. Well, not exactly a brass band. 2 guys were fixing the sewers and banging the pipes. But I love it here. North Hollywood is my home. Ah, home. Be it ever so humble, it's 8 to 5. The Bank of America owns it. I live right next to the Lakeside Golf Course, and it's very confusing being so close to the links. Just this morning, I thought I was eating an egg until I turned it over and saw Spalding stamped on it. I'll take a box of Greenlands. And a lot of movie stars live in North Hollywood. On a moonlight night, you can see Peter Lorre standing in front of the lake, howling at his reflection. And the big stars in Hollywood don't like to be bothered, so they put a fence around my house. And Sinatra lives here and loves it. Why, he's so sentimental, he says every time he returns, a throat comes up in his lump. I can see him exercising every morning. He does push-ups until he finally stands up. And he's helping with the YMCA drive. He strolled down Lancashire Boulevard without a shirt this morning, and 3,000 people signed up for the gym class. Betty Grable moved next door to me last month. For 2 weeks I complained about the noise her dog was making. Then I found out it was my echo. But we're doing this show to aid the Y Building Fund. When I was young, I belonged to the Y, and I used to beat up all the other kids. Of course, when I got a little older, they made me join the YMCA. When I was a kid, I used to be so weak I had to blow up my bubble gum with a bicycle pump. Picture that. You through with it? So am I. Anyway, and I weighed so little when I played with my yo-yo, the yo-yo would stand still and I would go up and down. I was strong. You've seen that huge arm holding the hammer on a box of bicarbonate? Well, I posed for the third fizz on the Alka-Seltzer bottle. But I wanted to help out with the publicity for this show, so I posed in a gym suit in front of the wives. 2 old ladies were standing in the crowd, and one looked at my muscles, then she turned to the other and said, "Isn't California wonderful, Agnes? In 2 more months, those avocados will be ripe."
Poor Miriam, neglected using Irium. Sore singing smile, had no winning style. I don't know why I love you like I do. I don't know why I just do.
Oh, no. Not you.
Let's go. So, folks, don't be like Miriam. Use Irium.
The first time you try the new improved Pepsodent toothpaste, something wonderful happens to you. Your teeth look so radiantly bright. Your whole mouth feels so gloriously clean. For this new Pepsodent with Irium cleans in a way no other toothpaste can. You notice first its difference in taste. This new Pepsodent has a cleaner, brighter taste. That means cleaner, brighter teeth. Next, you feel the difference in the way it cleans. This new Pepsodent contains more Irium, so it gives an abundance of invigorating foam. It cleans in between and around your teeth better, and cleans your breath better, too. Remember, Pepsodent alone among toothpastes gives you this active Irium foam. It sweeps dulling film away, uncovers the natural brilliance of your smile. Let your taste tell you, let your mirror show you that something wonderful happens the moment you change to this new Pepsodent toothpaste with Irium.
Dear Miriam, sweet Miriam, now she's using Irium. So her singing smile has that winning style. I don't know why I love you like I do.
But I do.
I don't know why I just do.
Let's say,
her smile's really great. So folks, just be like Miriam. Use Irium.
And now our guest singer of the evening, because of her fine work on 2 previous shows with us this season, we made a special effort to bring back the Lilton, Miss Martha Tilton, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you love me just as much as ever? Do you dream about me night and day? Do you want each kiss to last forever? Tell me what I long to hear you say. Do you miss me just as much as ever? Do you need me more than words can tell? Do you hope our paths will never sever? When you stop beside a wishing well, this is heavenly. Now I know that dreams come true. You're the one for me. Cross your heart and tell me I'm the only one for you. Tell me, darling, tell me now or never what your eyes have told me from the start. Do you love me just as much as ever? That's the way that I love you, sweetheart. That's the way that I love you,
That's a gold mine special. Beautiful. That was Miss Martha Tilton, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Ably assisted by Desi Arnaz and his Banana Boat Symphony. And the number? Do You Love Me Just as Much as Ever, dedicated to Crosby and his wallet. That was very nice. Really nice.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Martha, I'd like to get some advice to help Desi Arnaz. What do you do for your voice?
Oh, Bob, all singers take good care of their voices. They spray their throats and that sort of thing.
Oh, well, Desi tried that. The chili got through all right, but the beans always clogged up his atomizer. But thank you, Martha Tilton. There's really a gal. Well, Miss Vera Bay. Yes. Miss Vera Vague, the society hostess of Griffith Park.
Well, Mr. Hope, nature's question mark.
Just a second. You know, Miss Vague, we're broadcasting from my own neighborhood tonight.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell. The audience looked relatively the same.
Well, naturally, same relatives. But my neighbors really cooked up a fine reception for me, didn't they? Did you see all those welcome home signs?
You read them wrong, Mr. Hope. They said welcome ham.
Stop that. You saw all my friends when they came backstage to say hello and slap me on the back?
Slap you on the back?
That's right.
Quite a few midgets among them, weren't there?
You're getting real frisky since the new crop of alfalfa came in, aren't you, huh? Well, what have you been doing here, Miss Vague?
Well, all the big movie stars who live here in North Hollywood have invited me to a housewarming.
Oh, that's funny. They didn't invite me.
Well, don't worry about it, Mr. Hope. You'll be there. We're setting fire to your house.
I'll bring that egg along and you can fry it. So you've met some of the actors who live here, Miss Vague.
Oh, yes. And the minute they saw me, they went wild. Simply wild. Mr. Hope, what is it that I've got that fascinates men?
I don't know, Miss Vague, but whatever it is, you've only got it in the trial size.
Antiquated almond head, How can your mouth be so lippy when your brain has been suspended for a year? Anyway, I want to congratulate you, Mr. Hope. I just heard that you've been made editor of Woman's Magazine for this month.
Oh, yeah, that's true, Miss Vague. Thank you. They decided for this month's editor they'd like to step out of their own sex.
Gracious, they must have stumbled. What do you know about women, Mr. Hope?
Well, my mother was a woman.
Yes, poor thing, and I'll bet she expected a baby.
Well, we're here for the Y Recreational Building Fund, Miss Vague. Come on, I'll take you over and show you the new Y building. Look. Now, that's the contractor out in front.
All right, you men. Lift those steel girders into place. Start pouring that cement. Let's get all those planks over here. Start lining up those bricks. Okay, men. Now hammer those boards into place. Let's get that flax to mix. Then start putting those fixtures in.
What's next?
Who knows? This is my first job.
Professor Colonna, where? Colonna, what do you know about building anyway?
Plenty, Hope. Once I built a whole factory out of spaghetti.
You built a whole factory out of spaghetti? What did they make in the factory?
Meatballs.
Colonna, you've got spaghetti and meatballs on your brain.
Yes, it saves carrying a lunchbox.
Professor, I don't think you've had any construction experience at all.
Oh, don't worry. Really, I'm a great mathematical engineer, the best in the world.
Now, look, Colonna, if you're such a great mathematical engineer, you can answer this little problem. In a building of 28 stories containing 13 cubic feet in each room below 14 and 14 cubic feet in each room above 13 with 25% masonry, 18% age lumber, and 57% steel, what would be the stress in cubic pound inches on the number 61 girder?
Pardon?
I said, if you're such a great mathematical engineer, answer this problem. In a building of 28 stories...
I heard that. Can't you give it to me in apples?
Colonna, how can you be so stupid?
I take shots.
Oh, Professor, I knew you had no knowledge of engineering.
But I do. It's just that my technique on this building is unusual. The kids want to dance, and the dance floor had to be on the top of the building, so I built that first.
You built the top floor first? Colonna, that's not logical.
Logical, smogical. They're dancing up there now.
Colonna, what are these walls made of?
Beaver board.
Well, how come they're so lumpy?
Real beavers.
Well, tell me, Colonna, do you morons have a third party?
That's a silly question for our candidate to ask. Dad, Hope, it's time for me to go down the block and wash the windows at the YWCA. It's part of my job.
Now, wait a minute, Kelowna. That's ridiculous. Why should they make a big contractor like you wash windows on the YWCA?
I don't ask questions. I just have fun.
Before you go, Professor, how about showing us around?
Okay. Well, right here are the Good Minton courts.
Good Minton? Kelowna, it's badminton. Badminton.
Please, Hope, some folks like the game. Why knock it? After all, Hope, Joe Schlunk, the midget, likes the game.
Joe Schlunk, the midget? Who's he?
Well, he's the little guy who rides around on Henry Wallace's shoulder.
Well, what about it?
Every time they get near a microphone, Joe nudges him and says, "Go ahead, Hank. Tell him."
Kelowna, you're an idiot's dream.
Sleep tight.
When do you expect to have the building completed, Professor?
Oh, it's all finished now, but I'm having trouble.
Well, it looks fine to me. What's wrong?
They didn't buy a lot yet.
Kelowna, that's ridiculous. How could the building stand if it wasn't on a lot?
I knew it and you knew it, but the building didn't.
Thank you, Mr. Berg and Professor Kelowna. Here's Jesse
In my adobe hacienda, there's a touch of Mexico. Cactus lovelier than orchids, blooming in the patio. Soft desert stars and the strum of guitars make every evening seem so sweet. In my adobe hacienda, life and love are more complete. In my adobe hacienda, there's a touch of Mexico. Cactus lovelier than orchids, blooming in the patio. Soft desert stars and the strum of guitars, sweet music starts to fill the air. In my adobe hacienda, life and love are more complete.
Here's Wendell Niles, ladies and gentlemen.
How long since you've seen sparkle in your smile? The moment you change to the new improved Pepsodent toothpaste, you'll see something wonderful happen. Your teeth will shine radiantly bright. Your whole mouth feel tingling clean. For this new Pepsodent with Irium is different from other toothpaste you've tried. You notice first its difference in taste. It has a cleaner, brighter taste that means cleaner, brighter teeth. Next, you feel the difference in the way it cleans. For this new Pepsodent has more Irium, the exclusive cleansing ingredient that Pepsodent alone contains. It gives an abundance of active Irium foam, sweeps dulling film away, brings new brightness to your teeth. Try this new improved Pepsodent toothpaste with Irium. See something wonderful happen to your smile. Remember to listen to next week's show when we'll announce the Chevrolet winners of the 6th and final week's My Favorite Brunette contest.
Dear Miriam, sweet Miriam, now she's using Irium. So her sing and smile has that winning style, so folks just be like Miriam, use Irium.
Thank you. As our special guest tonight, we have one of Hollywood's outstanding screen menaces. This guy not only steals every scene he plays in, he kills everybody just to make sure. He's sinister, he's ruthless, but he's lovable. Your favorite and mine, Peter Lorre, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Hope.
Why do you call me Mr. Hope?
I don't like to get too familiar with my victims.
Are you trying to frighten a guy who drives through Cahuenga Pass every day? On a flat. You know, Peter, I've always admired the way you commit a crime.
Thank you, Bob, and I've always admired your programs, too.
You better be careful, Peter, or I'll tell.
You'll tell what?
I'll tell Boris Karloff you take hemo.
Please, Bob, I don't want people to get the wrong idea of me. You know, all that intrigue and gruesomeness is just a character in the movies.
Yeah, then why can't I pay you the regular way? Why do I have to meet you at the graveyard at midnight and throw it over the wall?
Well, I figured it would be more convenient. That way you could give Joe Miller his cut at the same time.
Watch your language. I can always replace you with an iodine label. Say, what makes you talk that way? With that voice, you ought to be on mystery programs.
This isn't a mystery program?
It used to be, but the vice presidents gave up. Tell me, why do you always talk with that low voice that way?
Oh, I was born in a library. In fact, I had to stay there for 6 months.
How come?
My father lost his card. Really, Bob, I don't understand. Why do I frighten women? I think I speak quite softly and gently.
That's just it, that voice. It's scary. Why do you always whisper like that?
I can't help it. I used to sell butter during the war.
Well, tell me, how'd you like working with me in My Favorite Brunette, Peter?
Oh, I liked it very much. I liked you. I'm easy to get along with. You know that, Bob.
Yeah, you're easy to get along with. You either like someone or they're not there anymore. Tell me, Peter, where'd you learn how to throw knives the way you did in Favorite Brunette?
Well, you see, Bob, I used to play baseball.
Oh, you were a pitcher?
Oh, no. When the crowd yelled, "Kill the umpire," I came out and did it.
Boy, I bet you were a smash in Brooklyn. Well, that voice you have is wonderful, but you really should be on a program like Inner Sanctum. I'll tell you what, let's do our version of Inner Sanctum. A little creep music, Desi. Gee, here I am driving along a lonely country road. What a rainstorm. The rain is really pouring down. Gee, I'm getting lonesome. I'd sure like to pick somebody up. At this point, I'd even settle for a man. Boy, what luck. There's a hitchhiker up ahead. What a weird-looking fella. He's carrying 2 pistols, a machine gun, a wire noose, and a blood-stained dagger. I'll pick him up. He'll be protection in case I run into any suspicious characters. Hey, you want a lift, mister?
Yes, certainly. What do you think I'm doing with my thumb in the air? Drying nail polish, huh?
Well, hop in.
Fine. I'll just put my suitcase in the bag.
Say, that's a pretty big suitcase. What do you got in it?
I don't know. We weren't introduced.
Some night, huh?
I like rain. Rain, rain, and more rain. When the skies are dark and there's thunder and lightning and it pours, I feel wonderful.
What part of Santa Monica are you from, Bud?
Do not toy with me. I feel very depressed tonight.
Oh, well, cheer up. It's a lonely road. Maybe we'll come across a double suicide or a train wreck or something. I'll turn the radio on. Maybe that'll help.
Hello, Ben. This is Beatrice Bakefax again with advice to the lovesick.
Shh, I've got my favorite program.
Now, here's a letter from a suffering girl. She says, I'm deeply in love with a boy named Joe. He loves me, too. His parents are willing to let us get married. I'm sure we could be very happy. What should I tell my husband? Now, here, girls, here's some helpful hints. I'm sure you...
Excuse me, Miss Fairfax, but here's a special announcement. Calling all cars. Be on the lookout for a mad killer. Remember, this murderer is ruthless, man. He's ruthless. I know, I got Ruth right here. Calling car 47. Wipe off your windshield. Somebody is stealing your radiator cap. Remember, all cars, this murderer has killed 10 people, and when last seen, he had 7 guns, 5 pairs of brass knuckles, and 6 knives. Approach this man with caution. He may have a mean streak in him. If you see him, you know what to do.
What?
Run!
Oh, so you're the insane killer.
Yeah, take it easy. Can't a man have a hobby?
Gee, the mad killer. What made you mad?
You ask me that. You. I'll tell you what drove me mad. It's those jingles. Those favorite brunette jingles. I send in thousands of those jingles. What happened? Nothing. I didn't win a Chevrolet. I didn't win a Frigidaire. I didn't hear anything from anybody. Have you got a handkerchief?
No.
Have you got a handkerchief?
No.
See, I never get anything.
Well, that's a shame. Are you sure you abided by the rules of the contest?
I sent in box tubs by the millions. I even tore off the top of my neighborhood druggist and sent it in.
Well, don't give up. They still haven't announced the winners for the last week.
Yes, but the suspense, it's killing me. I can't eat anymore. I can't sleep anymore.
You can't sleep? Why don't you try counting sheep?
It's no use when I close my eyes and count sheep. They're all driving Chevrolets. I can't understand it. Oh, why send in such wonderful jingles. Listen to this one. My favorite brunette is gone for good. She poked her head over the fence while I was chopping wood.
Oh.
Am I crowding you?
Oh, don't worry about me. I like sitting out here in the fender. Uh-oh. Looks like you're a dead pigeon. There's a roadblock up ahead. Uh-huh. I'd better slow down.
Keep going, you fool.
Stop! We got you now, Lorre. You're through.
Cologne, I can't stop. He's got a gun to my head. What'll I do?
Want to sell your car?
You are through, Hope. I'm going to shoot you through your head several times and kill you.
No, don't. I'll get you a Chevrolet. I'll do anything to get you a Chevrolet. I'll steal one from Madman Muntz. Don't do anything. I'll steal one.
You'll steal one?
Yes. Oh! Peter, why did you shoot me?
Because I can't stand a crook.
Thank you very much, Peter Lorre and Martha Tilton. Next week, we have Jerry Sullivan and our good friend Clark Dennis with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've enjoyed doing this show tonight, and I think every American should thank the YM and YWCA for doing so much for our nation by doing so much for our nation's youngsters. Next Tuesday, we'll be at the Paramount Theater in Amarillo, Texas, on behalf of the Amarillo Boys Ranch. And folks, while we're plugging for today's small fry, the kids who will be tomorrow's big fry, let's get hep to the crisis in our schools. Many of our schools are understaffed and overcrowded, and many of our teachers underpaid and overworked. And many a family studying the 1947 automobile has a youngster studying a 1927 textbook. If you don't believe there's a crisis in our schools, look at the figures. 350,000 experienced teachers have quit in the past 5 years. And it's our own fault because we expect teacher to be an underpaid superwoman who can take a rundown school and a worn-out textbook and turn our bubblegum chewers into Shakespeares and Einsteins. Let's not kid ourselves. Our educational system is in trouble, and our schools need all the help we can offer. And Uncle Sam needs everything those schools have to offer. Good night.
Peter Lorre had a flair for the humorous sometimes, and humorous, a lot of it based on his roles that he took in motion pictures. Of course, probably his best work on radio was the summer series Mystery in the Air for Camel Cigarettes. And he had a great supporting cast there, including one Henry Morgan, would later be known as Harry Morgan, from Dragnet and MASH fame. But he got to choose the episode, the programs or the stories that they would adapt for the show, and it was a wonderful summer series. It really was. Peter Lorre on the Bob Hope Show from 78 years ago today. Coming up next, a truly scary program, The Long Way Home.
Keep your guard up. That's the key slogan of the 1950 National Guard recruiting drive, and it's a slogan as timely as today's headlines. More than ever before, America stands prepared, and the National Guard must recruit approximately 220,000 men as soon as possible. By joining the National Guard, young men will have the advantage of choosing their own unit and preparing themselves for promotion by being in a job for which they are best qualified. Investigate the National Guard now. Help America to keep up its guard.
I have not been able to find anything else on The Long Way Home apart from this program. The Henry Fritsch story just was so suited to 1957 because of the war scare, the Cold War. And so this was a cautionary tale, if you will, of an America that we might see a few decades from the time this was recorded in 1957, or maybe longer. This episode of the show, the CBS Radio Workshop, 68 years ago, May 12th, 1957. Henry Fritsch's The Long Way Home.
Pick 'em up, you critters. Pick 'em up. Horses pulling tanks and trucks.
Johnny, you have a cigarette for me?
It's one of those Canadians is all.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Me too, Johnny. Sure.
What is town we come to, Sargento?
I don't know for sure, Domingo. Newark, New Jersey, if I remember my geography.
Newark, New Jersey?
I never hear of such a place.
Well, it's just south of where New York used to be. Pretty big town. Or used to be.
The CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind. Today, The Long Way Home, a glimpse of a future we trust will never happen. A story of the fate of men to whom it is given to do what they have to do, with or without understanding, but with patience, goodwill, and a sense of comradeship.
Ruski, you know that was a German song when I was fighting in North Africa 30 years ago.
Every army take it over. Like every army take up song in every war. Let me play you other one from First World War.
I think we learned this from Avstrici. But many soldiers still think it is Spanish war. I know. My father was airplane mechanic there.
Say, I hear that. My old man, he served in the United States Army in 1917. He was Cubano like me, of course. But he want to fight Alemans.
Germanskis, everybody want to fight them. Let me play you a song from Second Big War. This one is Russian. I think you all know.
Oh, sure. I heard that one when I was a real little kid.
Yeah, Shiv, old boy, you come and look after this stew and let me borrow that lip organ for a minute. I'll give you a really spirited old army tune.
Right, sir.
This one practically took the world, as our armies haven't been doing for some time now, I'm afraid.
We know that. Oh, everybody do. No, I also. From my papushka, he fight in First War also.
Tit! Hop!
There goes that stew. First stop meal I might have had in 3 days.
Ничего!
He's army, товарищ. Always the same.
The mayor of Newark to see the general! Sergeant of squad next to headquarters, set!
Guess he means you, Johnny.
Sergeant Johnson, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, 2070 Infantry reporting, sir.
Report to General Clarkson that Mayor Collins is calling with technical experts.
Yes, sir.
All others, as you work.
Good. I play music for Mayor to go to terrible fate.
What fate?
We talk with Big General. What color eyes Mayor have?
How I know?
Never mind. Maybe dark.
Look here, Mr. Mayor. We know you have your problems, but we have worse ones. We have reliable information that an enemy force will attempt a landing somewhere around Cape May within 2 or 3 days. We've got to stop that.
Whose force, may I ask, General Clarkson?
How am I supposed to know by all the knobby knees in New Jersey? Our intelligence says it's probably General Wolfe with his Germans.
Germans, General?
Or whatever he's got now. But even if they're outer Tibetans, I can tell you we're in for a rough time. And so will you and your people be, Mr. Mayor, if we can't stop them from landing.
I'm sorry, General, but I still don't see how we are involved. We are a community of civilians.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Civilian. You have the good fortune to be the head of one of the few cities in the world that has at least some serviceable walls left. Now, I know Wolfe. I've fought him before. And if Wolfe makes a landing here in New Jersey, you not only will have none of your walls left, but no people either. Mr. Mayor, we know that you've got gasoline stored underground somewhere around here, and we need gas.
You'll make it sound grim, General.
It will be grim, believe me.
Perhaps so, but what do you want me to do about it?
Lord knows we've got few enough tanks left, but even those we have are useless without gas. And if we can't get gas for our trucks to bring up the supplies that we have left, or those we can squeeze out of communities like yours, Mr. Mayor, why, man, we'd be just plain helpless.
Let me ask you one question, General.
Sure, fire away.
Whom are you fighting and why?
Whom? Why, anybody who's fighting us, of course. Anybody. Why? Well, I suppose I have to admit I don't really know too much about that part of it myself, but because I'm a soldier, I suppose. Because my government ordered me to.
But we have hardly any government left, General. When were you last in touch with anything one could call the government of the United States of America?
Well...
Exactly, General. But I tell you what I'll do. I'll turn one of our gas reservoirs over to you and let you do with it whatever you want. And I'll throw in a bonus on one condition.
That's too much, sir. Who are you to make conditions to the commanding officer of an army of your own government?
About the government, I wouldn't know, General. I haven't heard anything from them for a pretty long time. Concerning your army, I'm not so sure whether it should be considered an army of the United States or just General Clarkson's army.
No.
There have been I don't know how many dozens of armies like yours wandering around the world these last few years, clawing at each other and pushing each other back and forth across the earth.
Yeah. All right. What's your condition?
That you get your troops out tomorrow morning.
Well, that one I can accept. We have an appointment around Cape May anyway, if we can get your gasoline, that is.
Well, don't let the difference in our points of view mislead you, General. We naturally wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. You mentioned a bonus.
Yes, it's something your intelligence apparently missed. Just before this whole mess started, the government enlarged a few of the natural caves in the foothills west of here and stored some airplanes there. There are about 5 or 6 left.
Airplanes?
I don't know how modern you'd consider them.
Modern? Modern? Man, what does that matter when there hasn't been a factory on the face of the earth producing anything at all for years? I don't even know if I'd still recognize an airplane anymore.
Well, they're yours, together with the gas, if your army leaves in the morning.
Mr. Mayor, you got a deal. Now we'll at least have a chance against that wolf.
Hold it a minute, soldier. There's a couple of folks here.
Civilians. Oh, they're wearing decent clothes, too.
What can I do for you, sir? And ma'am?
Mr. and Mrs. William Harrison Taylor, young man.
Sir?
I ain't no sir, ma'am. Just a sergeant.
Well, Sergeant, then.
Sergeants run army, lady. Never mind, sir.
Except General, maybe.
All right, shut up, you two. Yes, ma'am?
Well, you'll have to forgive an old lady's curiosity, but it's been so long since we've heard anything about what is going on. We would have liked to have brought something for you and your men.
Oh, there wouldn't have been any call for that, ma'am. The Army still takes pretty good care of us.
He means we take good care.
Don't mind them, ma'am. They're just road happy. Men get a little silly after marching a long time.
You mean marching too long, Sergeant?
I wouldn't know, sir. We go where we have to go.
But it's pretty far sometime, Johnny.
You talk. You come only from Cuba. Me, I come all the way from Korea.
So it's saying there's 8,000 miles of water between Melbourne and even the west coast of this blooming continent.
Madam, permit a man to speak among children. Me, I come from Omsk. From Omsk? That is in Siberia. It is half around the world.
Say, Sergeant, what kind of an army is this anyway? I thought it was American.
Oh, it is that, sir. General Clarkson's army.
But all those foreigners...
Well, sir, in a war like this, you can't take too much account of nationalities. Now, Ivan, the Ruski here, we picked him up in Alaska after that big fight we had up there. His own outfit was just about wiped out. Well, he didn't have no place to go, so he joined up with us. And Sen here, he says he's a Korean. Seems he came over with that army that invaded California under General Yamento a couple of years ago. But he got lost in the hills. He had no way to get home. So he kept wandering around, and we picked him up when we got pushed back through Washington State by those Mohammedans of General Abdel Ali.
Me, I joined up with these chaps in Canada after my own brigade was wiped out. Where else would a man go these days? Me, I believe in freedom.
And me, I reckon I just like fighting. I have to repeat my question, young man. Is this supposed to be an American army?
Why, sure it is, sir. Our commanding officer is General Clarkson in that tent over there.
But, Sergeant...
Never mind, William. The government undoubtedly has its reasons.
Government? There is no government that I've heard from, at least. Not even about taxes.
Don't fuss now, William. Sergeant.
Yes, ma'am?
Do you happen to be free from duty tonight?
As far as I know, ma'am. Unless we get orders to move out.
Well, our apartment is below street level, and so we still have a fairly decent space to live in. That last rocket did shake the plaster off the ceiling. But it's warm and quite comfortable, and we have a little store of tea left over.
Tea? As a matter of fact, Mother, I even think there are a few bottles of beer. Home brew, of course.
Beer?
Cerveza?
What beer?
Beer, you dope people!
Ramen, shut you! Great day!
Stow it, Ruski. Can't you stop playing that tinkle box even while you're breaking your legs in this rubble?
Hey, you don't like music when we go to party?
Yeah, but we're not going to Kentucky. You could be carrying a squirt gun over that shoulder.
I got two shoulders, Chief. One for gun, one for balalaika.
Kentucky, where it is?
Never mind, Carver. They ain't had a war there in 100 years.
Somebody sure beat up this town, though.
You say that after we go through Chicago, Detroit, Toledo?
Oh, look the same.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Sen. Hold it, guys. I think this is the place. Oh. Why, miss, we were looking for Mr. and Mrs. Taylor. We were invited.
You're expected to. Please come in.
Oh, thank you, miss. We didn't know.
Oh, look at our fellows. Rabel has found himself a little minka.
Oh, come on. Shut up with that.
And there I was, Mrs. Taylor, sitting in that bloody tree with that bloody spear pinning me bloody thigh to the bloody trunk.
And all in this so-called atomic age.
Is X, tovarish?
X what, Ruski?
Ex-atomic, tovarish. Is no more factories, no more atomics.
Gracias a Dios. Might even live longer this way.
I wouldn't count on too much, Cove.
Why can't? We don't get pay anyway.
Oh, stash it, Ruski.
That reminds me of a fellow I served with in the Second World War. Well, we just landed on this island. But I guess he got himself lost or something. And the next thing you know, after we take this village, there he is sitting on this throne with 4 bodyguards with spears and at least 8 wives.
More tea, Sergeant?
Oh, thanks, miss. My name is John.
He's Johnny. Johnny John.
Mine is Martha. Martha Waycross.
Waycross?
I'm only taken over. Mother and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, that is, they found me at the intersection of Broad Street and the highway to Red Bank after that first awful bombing. I was only about 7 then.
Your parents gone?
I really don't know. I'd forgotten my name from the shock or something. So when Mother and Dad registered me as their takeover, they put me down as Waycross. What are you looking so strange about?
I don't know. You make me think of something. Make me smell it even.
Smell what?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Where do you come from, Sergeant?
Come from? Oh, South Dakota originally. Black Hills country.
And have you been home recently?
No, ma'am. Not since I joined up 7 years ago.
You haven't been back since?
Well, no. I figured this time when we got chased off the West Coast, I'd get a chance to stop by the farm, see what's left of my family, but then the railway wasn't running, so they sent us across through Canada.
I don't know whether you're aware of it, children, but there's a beautiful full moon outside.
Children? Oh, I also am a child.
Would you like to go out and look at the moon, Martha?
Yes, Johnny.
How about another bottle of beer, gentlemen?
You are a gentleman, Mr. Tyler.
Beer ball.
Johnny, what are you thinking about?
I just figured out what you reminded me of before.
Something nice, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Real nice. I don't know if I can say it right, but it had something to do with when I was a kid back home on the farm. It'd be the sun and the bright blue sky in the summer, the smell of the green grass and the wheat and the corn. My mother would be in the kitchen usually, cooking up something good. And always in the summer there'd be that warm breeze in my face and hair.
What's that?
Huh? That noise? Gosh, I hope it's the reinforcements we've been waiting for. General Bob Smith's outfit. I reckon we sure enough are moving out now.
The planes themselves are okay, sir. Our mechanics can't find a thing wrong with them. So what is wrong? I don't know, sir. They just don't handle right. Will they fly at all? After a fashion, sir. Well, maybe that's enough of a margin. If Smith has some ammunition, that is. We'll need everything we can lay our hands on to stop that wolf.
Johnny, are you as lonesome for home as you sound?
Lonesome for home? Home, that's the Army, Martha. And lonesome, how could I be lonesome? I've been in this outfit since I was 14. Now you're giving me an idea, though.
Hope this one is nice, too.
Heard it from a fella I went to school with. He went back home last year. He told me there are some folks that have moved into some of those caves in the hills, right near where I was raised. And they're collecting all kinds of things.
Sounds wonderful.
Seems there was a saint once in Italy or somewhere. Saint Benedict, I think. And he collected all the stuff he could find when they had a lot of wars over there, just to save the old inventions and ideas. Well, civilization, I guess. Well, those people back home are trying to do the same thing.
Johnny, are you thinking of going back to join them?
Oh, now, Martha, if a man had himself a good woman, I don't owe the Army any time anymore.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you delivered the planes, all right. And you turned over that gasoline to us, but the two just don't work together.
Huh?
The planes won't run on that gas the way they should, neither will our tanks and trucks.
I'm sorry, General, but that's not our fault. The stuff hasn't been touched since it was pumped into the reservoir 15 years ago.
15 years? No, that's no wonder.
What's the matter, General?
Do you know what evaporation and condensation in an underground tank can do to gasoline in 15 years? I only hope the stuff is good for one mission at least.
You did pass through New York on your way here.
Rather. Say, what's it look like? We haven't heard from anyone who's been through there for years.
New York? Oh, kaput!
It's true, sir. There ain't anything left. We had to dig a road through the rubble for our tanks.
Tell me something, Mr.
Corporal Lee, ma'am. Originally of the 5th Australian Division.
Well, Corporal, you're not an American. Why are you here? Why do you fight?
Why, madam? The women have children.
Oh, but that's a woman's role in life.
Well, madam, maybe it's a man's role to fight.
Ha ha! Women have it, baby. Men, they fight. It's man's life in army.
Well, all I can say, Bob, is I'm glad you got here. I have a hunch this wolf is going to be pretty tough to lick. He wouldn't risk a landing if he didn't think he was pretty well fixed.
Where do you think he'll hit us?
G2 says around Cape May. Makes sense, too. Well, you got here just in time, Bob. The mayor of this junk heap made me swear we'd move out in the morning.
What do you mean, Major?
Oh, heck, he had some gas stored underground from before the war. A few planes hidden in those caves, and so we made a deal. Now, it turns out, of course, that the gas is full of water and the planes practically refuse to fly on it. Still, you know the old saw, beggars can't beat choosers.
I'd have shot the so-and-so.
I thought of it. But how would I have found those supplies of his? What do you got left?
Not much. 5 tanks, M84s and 86s, about 20 6x6 trucks, a few rocket launchers, enough mortars and artillery for a couple of battalions. I've got about 15,000 men.
Just about a division.
Yeah, the way we used to think of it. Now it's an army.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you caught up with us anyway, Bob. I don't know whether even the two of us together will be able to stop that wolf. Still, I suppose we better get ready to push out. Sentry! Have them sound assembly. We're moving out in 2 hours.
Hey, what's that? Hey, you guys, back to camp. Assembly sounded. Well, Martha, I guess we're moving.
What about those black hills of yours?
Are we moving, Sarge?
Johnny, we go.
You think this is invasion?
Invasion who?
I don't know, you guys, but the bugle gave it on the double. I'm sorry, honey. I guess you see I just can't go home yet.
But you said...
Yeah, I know I did, but I couldn't leave my outfit now, not when the guys are heading for another battle. Might be a real bad one.
Oh, Johnny.
Don't you go worrying now. Martha, I'll feel a lot better just knowing you're alive. You know that, I reckon. But it just don't seem like there's much time left anymore to do the things people really want to do.
Come on, Sarge.
Here you! Contact!
Got it smashed down!
All right, fall in line there, both sides of the road. Shut up, you!
Guess you'll run for a while.
Come on now, you guys, dress it up. Holiday's over.
At least we got some planes on the side again.
Yes, if enough gasoline.
Gasoline? Oh, who needed gasoline? Not feet?
You like carry things?
Rather fight without tanks, Ruski.
Shut up, you guys. Here's the general.
Looks like 2 of them, rather.
Men of the Clarkson Army, once again, as so be often before, our opportunity has come. As you know, I never keep secrets from you. I tell you frankly, therefore, that this time we're up against the toughest and the smartest opponent many of you have ever faced. General Wolfe and his specialists. Our intelligence tells us that they're planning to land near Cape May tomorrow or the next day. But we have been reinforced by General Bob Smith and his army. So, with faith and confidence, and with the courage and skill which you have shown so often, I know that we will continue to keep this continent safe for our women.
Brother, this one's going to be rough, I'll wager.
When he talk like that, yes.
Watch hot, right, hey, right step, forward, hard. Hi, Sarge. Yeah?
Johnny!
Oh! Goodbye, Martha.
The Black Hills! St. Benedict!
Maybe I'll be back. Maybe, Martha.
You've been listening to the CBS Radio Workshop and The Long Way Home, a glimpse of the future we hope will never confront us. Written by Henry E. Fritsch, music arranged by Alexander Steinert, produced and directed in New York by Paul Roberts. William Redfield was heard as Johnny, Danny Acco as Ivan, and Terry Keane as Martha. Others in the cast included Bob Dryden, Joseph Julian, Roger DeKoven, Nat Polan, Leon Janney, Guy Rep, Wendell Holmes, Jack Arthur, and Ruth Tobin. This is Ted Pearson inviting you to listen again next week when from Hollywood the CBS Radio Workshop presents Heaven in the Sky, an actuality broadcast of the tragedy of the Pacoima school disaster in which a disabled DC-7 fell into a crowded schoolyard. This is the CBS Radio Network.
A truly sad episode of the show. But much deeper than this particular episode of the workshop. The Long Way Home from 68 years ago, May 12th, 1957. No countries, no borders, no governments. Only ragtag groups of humanity banding together for survival. A very, very sad program. And yet, just taking on the touch of the show gives you an idea, and it's a very big slice of what people felt back in 1957. Alrighty, let's roll on here on this Monday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. By the way, visit our webpage at classicradio.stream, and we'll head to Pine Ridge, Arkansas next.
The Crusade for Freedom is a crusade for your freedom and mine. The truth dollars people send the Crusade for Freedom help preserve our own freedom, even as they get the truth and hope to people behind the Iron Curtain. Truth dollars help finance Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia, the most effective weapons Western democracy has for countering lies and distortion. Send your contribution to The Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster. That's Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
Another slice of that late 50s, early 60s life. Let's wrap up this episode of Classic Radio Theater with Lum and Abner as we go back 83 years, May 12th, 1942. And what about the other things that Diogenes left behind?
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. I wonder, friends, do you ever think we're talking to the other fellow when we suggest that no home ever be without a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets? Well, we're not. We're talking to you. We want you to keep a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets in your home, because we know there'll be so many times when you'll be mighty thankful for your farsightedness. Alka-Seltzer can be so helpful so often, and you never know when you'll want the fast relief that Alka-Seltzer offers for headaches, for a sour, upset stomach, a touch of acid indigestion, or twinges of muscular aches and pains. But if you have a package of Alka-Seltzer tablets handy, soothing relief is usually only a matter of minutes. So be wise and be prepared. Get a package of these modern effervescent tablets from your druggist the very next time you're in his store. Many's the time you'll be glad you found out about Alka-Seltzer and its famous speedy relief. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, at last, Lum and Abner were able to find the best possible way of spending Diogenes Smith's $10,000 gift. The best way of benefiting every person in the community and of preserving everything that Pine Ridge and every other town in America stands for. They invested the money in United States war bonds. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store, and with their minds relieved of the responsibility of handling Diogenes' donation, they're turning once again to the tasks of their much-neglected store. Listen.
Well, why do I have to clean out the feed room today, Lum? I'll do it tomorrow or next week or something.
No, it's got to be done today, Abner. All that stuff ordered from the wholesale house will more than likely get here this afternoon. We got to have a place to put it, ain't we?
Well, what do you want to go and order so much stuff for?
Well, because we let our stock get so run down. We're might nigh out of everything.
Yeah.
It's getting to where we had to tell our customers to go over to Dick Huddleston's store if they wanted to buy anything.
Well, I thought that was sort of a good idea. Sure saved us a lot of work. You got to admit that, Lum. Just sit here and play checkers all day.
Yeah, but that ain't no way to run a business, Abner. No, we got to fooling with that $10,000 of Diogenes, and we just let our business run down here.
Yeah, we ain't paid much attention to it, I'll admit that.
Oh, it's run down something wonderful.
Yeah.
So go on, get back there and clean out the feed room. Never put off till tomorrow what you ought to have did today.
Well, if I...
I said, never mind. I ain't going into that, I know.
Well, but, well, all right, doggies. I reckon I ought to have some help back there, though. Don't forget that printing press of Diogenes is still back there in that feed room. That thing's too busy for me to handle by myself, Lum.
Too busy?
Too big, that's what I meant to say. I'm too busy to handle it by myself.
I forgot about us having that thing back there.
Why, sure, it's still back there. Yeah. Them police fellers took all them engraving plates that Diogenes used for making counterfeit money, but they left the printing press back there. Reckon what we ought to do with that thing anyway.
Wait a minute, Abner.
Huh? What's the matter?
Keep quiet, I'm studying.
You got something wrong with your head?
No, of course not. You know good and well I always put my hand up to my head this way when I'm studying and squint my eyes.
Well, yeah, but ordinary you sit down to do it, though.
Well, I'm learning myself how to study on my feet. All big executives do that. Always on their toes, making quick decisions.
Yeah.
That's the way a feller's got to be to get ahead in this modern world, Abner.
He does, huh?
Yes, sir. He's got to be mental alert at all times. Or to be able to take all the big problems that comes up and figure them out right on the spur of the moment.
Uh-huh.
Or to let nothing get by him. Or to learn his memory to recollect everything that goes on around him.
Uh-huh. Well, what you studying about?
Huh?
I say, what was you studying about a minute ago?
Strange, I can't recollect now.
Hmm.
Yeah, more than likely wasn't nothing important, no way. Go on, get to work on the feed room now, Abner. Don't put that off no longer.
All right, I still don't know what to do with that printing press, though. You want me to just throw it out there and back somewhere?
Wait a minute, that's it.
Huh?
That's what I was studying about. No, don't throw it out. Just leave it set there. You know, we might put in a little printing shop. I don't know.
A printing shop?
Yeah. Print up handbills for different stores and calling cards for folks and wedding announcements and I don't know what all.
Well, that sounds awful interesting, all right. Did you say wedding announcement?
Yeah, and such things as that.
Who's getting married?
I don't know.
Is it Cedric and Clarabelle?
Not that I know of. No, I don't reckon them two will ever get married.
Well, who is it then? Come on now, tell me, Lum.
Abner, there ain't nobody getting married.
Well, what you printing up them wedding announcements for then?
Well, they're for anybody that wants them. Anybody that's aiming on getting married.
Well, you said nobody weren't getting married, though.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
I doggies, there's something secret going on around here, Lum. Now, I want you to tell me... Wait a minute. Lum, you ain't getting married, are you?
Me? Why, of course not.
Now, Lum Edwards, you look me square in the eye and say that.
Abner, don't be silly. Of course I ain't getting married, and you know it. Very ideas.
Oh, now, Lum, you oughtn't to be so bashful about it. Yeah, you just been a bachelor too long. That's your trouble. Now, come on, tell me. Who is it, Lum? Miss Frederick, a school teacher?
Of course not. I ain't even saw her for at least a month or so.
Well, who is it then?
Abner, it ain't nobody. Now, get that silly idea out of your mind before I hit you right on top of the head with something.
Well, you don't need to get so mad about it.
I ain't mad. I just
Well, all right. If you don't want to talk about it, well, I reckon you don't have to.
Well, I don't want to talk about it. So forget about it.
Yeah, I'll find out who it is, though. Just quick as we start printing them wedding announcements. I can read.
We ain't going to print no wedding announcements. I've decided again that idea.
Oh, you going to Low Pond, not tell nobody about it, huh?
No, I don't mean that. I mean I've decided again printing little stuff like announcements.
Oh.
I believe we'll just go right into book printing.
Book printing?
Yeah. And the first book I'm going to print is a new dictionary.
Dictionary?
Yeah, that one they got out now ain't complete.
Well?
It's got some common everyday words missing in it.
It has, huh?
Why, sure. How they expect our young'uns to get educated with books that ain't got all the words
You
in
say our young'uns? Lum, are you aiming on having some children after you get married?
For goodness sakes, Abner. What did I tell you about mentioning that subject?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go on.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing. Papa Lum. Go on. What words is missing, Lum?
Well, to begin with, Abner, get that silly grin off your face.
I ain't grinning.
Swan do goodness, you look worse than a laughing hyena.
Oh.
To begin with, the dictionary we got here in the store ain't got the word ort in it.
Well, maybe you never looked under the right place. Maybe you was spelling it wrong or something.
No, I was spelling it right. O-R-T.
Yeah, that's right, I reckon.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I even looked under the letters U and E to see if they'd made a mistake in spelling it. But it wasn't there neither.
Well, I do know. Art ain't in there, huh?
No. And there's another one. Ain't. Ain't in there neither.
Neither ain't nor art?
No.
Doggies, they oughtn't to leave them out. I reckon how come them to do such a thing as that?
I don't know. But I figure it might be on account of the book was writ a long time ago by an old-timey feller. Noe Webster, I believe his name was.
Noe Webster? Did he write that?
Well, sure. You've heard of him before, ain't you?
Oh, sure, yeah. Lord me, yes, I've heard of him. I never knowed what his last name was before. Webster, well.
Of course, he done a good job at the time he done it, but now we ought to have a new dictionary wrote. A modern, up-to-date one.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just the feller to do it, I don't know.
Well, you might be.
I might be called.
Yeah.
I might become the modern Noe Webster, I don't know.
Well, good for you, good. Of course, I don't know where you're going to get a big enough boat, though, Lum. That'll be the only trouble.
Boat?
Yeah, you have to have an awful big one to hold all them animals.
Animals? What animals?
What, the ones that go on the boat. There was 2 donkeys and 2 camels and 2 elephants and...
What in the world are you talking about, Abner?
You said you want to be just like Noe, didn't you?
Oh, I see. Well, of course I said that, but I said Noe Webster.
Well, yeah, if you want to use his last name. Yeah, I recollect him just as Noe, though. That's the only name I knowed for him. I never knowed what his last name was.
Well, it's 2 different fellers.
We never learned his last name in Sunday school. Noe is all they ever said. Of course, now, Lum, with all them animals to feed and take care of, I don't believe you're going to have much time to do no book writing. You're going to be a busy man, I can tell you that right now.
Oh, to goodness, Abner, you get something in your head and won't nothing change it.
But...
Stick of dynamite wouldn't jar it out of there.
Well, I reckon if the other Noah could do it, why, you ought to be able to do it too, Lum. You can work fast, I'll say that for you.
Abner, all I said I was going to do was write a dictionary. Now you got me loading down a boat with a bunch of animals.
You mean that's all you're going to do, just write on that book?
That's all.
Well, who's going to feed them animals, then?
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner, I ain't taking no animals no place.
You ain't? Well, you going on this boat trip just by yourself, then?
I ain't going on no boat trip alone, even.
Well, if you ain't taking no animals and you ain't going alone, or... Hi, doggy, sure. What's the matter with me? Yeah, I see what you're aiming on doing now.
Well, I'm glad one of us knows what I'm doing.
Sure.
I know I can't keep track of it.
Why, you old scallywag, you. Why, Lum and Abner, I never knowed you had such ideas as that in your head.
Ideas like what? Or no, don't tell me. Don't. I've stood all of this I can for one day.
Yeah, well, wait a minute now, Lum. Where are you going?
I don't know, but if I stay here much longer, I'll go start raving mad crazy.
Yeah, well, wait a minute, now, Lum. Tell me some more about this
Answer
now.
the phone, Abner, and if it's for me, tell him I went out to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
So long.
Went out to... Uh-oh, too late. Where'd he say he's going? Hello, jot him down, store and library. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Oh, howdy, Elizabeth. Huh? Yeah, well, I'll bring you potatoes home with me when I come home to supper tonight. Yeah. Say, Elizabeth, wait a minute. I just got a great idea here. Yeah, I want you to call up everybody and have them come over to our place for a party tonight. Yeah, a surprise party for Lum. Yeah, because he's getting married. Yes, he is. Huh? Oh, he's done went and did it this time. Well, he never admitted to it, but I believe it must be Miss Frederick. Yeah, but listen to this, Elizabeth. You all have said Lum weren't romantics. Well, you know what he's went and did? He's bought himself a great big boat, and him and his woman are going on their honeymoon trip on a boat. Yeah, wonderful world.
Friends, how have you been feeling lately? Is your appetite good? Do you tire easily? Do you sleep well? Do you feel as alive and alert as you should these spring days? Are you getting your daily supply of vitamins, especially the B vitamins? Well, if you're not, maybe you should. For today, in war times, we're all working harder, tiring out oftener, taxing nerves and digestion, and using up energy as never before. That's why we should be sure we're not lacking in B vitamins. And here's an easier and more convenient way to get your B-complex vitamins. It's the one-a-day way. Now, 1 tablet a day is all you take. 1 tablet a day is all you pay for. Just compare one-a-day brand B-complex vitamin tablets with expensive kinds, where you take 3 or 4 capsules or tablets a day. Then you'll soon see how economical and how convenient they are. Remember, each one-a-day B-complex tablet supplies the average person his basic daily known requirements of the B vitamins, whose requirements have been established. Take one-a-day tablets every day for just a couple of weeks and see what they do for you. Not 4, not 3, not 2, but only 1 tablet a day is all you take. That's why they cost you so little, only about 25 or 26 cents a week, depending on the size package you buy. Ask your druggist for one-a-day brand B-complex vitamin tablets. He has them in 3 sizes. Insist on one-a-day brand if you want to save money.
I tend to think that Lum may have whopped Abner a few times too many. 83 years ago, May 12, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for making us a part of your Monday, or you listen to it at another time. These drop every day about midnight Pacific time, so you can always hear them on that same day if you like. Tomorrow, The Weird Circle, The Sealed Book, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and Suspense, and Goodman and Jane Ace, The Easy Aces. And if you thought you've heard crazy, you ain't heard crazy till you've heard Jane Ace in her element. That'll be coming up all tomorrow here on Classic Radio Theater. See you tomorrow. I'm Wyatt Cox.